Hey guys, this is Miss Adams, and today we're going to go over graphing systems of equations. This is lesson 2.4 in Algebra 1. Before we get into the meat of our instruction today, we're going to look at the warm-up. So the warm-up goes over lessons 2.1 and 2.2, and this is also what you just had your graded practice over. So it says to write each verbal equation as an algebraic equation, then solve, and to show your work. So this first one says the sum of twice a number and 9 is equal to 13. So let's see if we can identify some things in here. First off, we have a number. It's not defined, so we're going to need to give a variable here. So for a number, I'm just going to put the variable in. Now let's look at some of these operations that's happening here. So the sum is going to be our addition operation. And then it says is equal to. Well, is going to be equal to, and it even says is equal to. And then when you have twice a number, that means we're going to multiply that variable in by 2. So let's write this out. So I now have the sum, so I've got 2n plus 9 is equal to 13. So write it out as 2n plus 9 is equal to 13. And then solve. So we're going to get our like terms together, which means we're going to subtract the constant from the left. And if you do that to the left, you also have to do it to the right because we're trying to isolate our variable in here. So in order to isolate that variable, you have to isolate the variable term first. So I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. That is our subtraction property of equality. We now have 2n is equal to 4. And now we're trying to isolate our variable in. So we're going, since it's being multiplied by 2, we're going to do the opposite of that and divide both sides by 2 using the division property of equality. So n is equal to 2. Let's look at the second warm-up problem. So it says a number is 3 times the difference of 5 and itself. So once again we have to define our variable. Let's use x here. And it says is, we know that is the operation equal to 3 times, so I'm going to multiply something by 3. The difference, hey, that's subtraction of 5 and itself. Well, if I see itself, I know I'm going to be reusing my variable x here. So let's write it out. I have x is equal to 3 times the whole difference of 5 and itself. So now, we can use the distributive property to distribute that 3 throughout. And we get something along the lines of x equals 15 minus 3x. And now we're going to group all of our like terms together, which means we're going to get our variable terms on one side, keep your constants on another, and then simplify, then we're going to divide to get our variable term by itself. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. X plus 3x is going to give me 4x on that left-hand side. So 4x equals 15. Now I know that 4 does not go into 15 evenly, and I'm okay with you guys just keeping it as a fraction, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. That's our division property of equality. That negates the multiplication, so I have x equals 15 divided by 4. Stay tuned and we'll get into our new information here.